Maybe that's quarterly.
I think that, you know, like you said, the last minute endorsement stuff, somebody walking up that last week, you know, if we haven't had a chance to learn who they are, you know, kind of through a month or so process at least, then yeah, we might look at history as a lesson. That if we want to run candidates that are going to be libertarian candidates, represent us well as a young party, getting that name out there, people just figuring out who libertarians are, it's important that we have good candidates, probably more than tons of candidates. And so I would probably go with just nominate Arvin.
As far as addressing the last minute candidates, I think when I first joined the party, no one knew who I was when I came to my first convention, and I didn't run unopposed, and no one knew who my opponent was at that convention either. So yes, you will get last minute people that are interested in getting elected that maybe you haven't seen before and that you don't know anything about. Now I'd like to think that I turned out okay. So I don't know that you want to
work for Asa Hutchinson now.
So, but I still think that, like Dave said also, that doing things the way we've been doing it, which is basically A1 before we got all messed up with everything last year, it's still the simplest way to do it. And I think Stephen had an idea that he kind of mentioned before, that if we really want to, instead of having to do all these complicated things, if we want to keep it open because we can and then put somebody in at later month, we can just end our convention without ending our convention. Nobody says we have to close the convention on the day of the convention.
We've tried things like that in the past too, yeah. Melissa, did you guys have anything else to add?
If we choose one of the options that has us letting people do the filing the pledges before we've nominated via convention or executive committee, does that give them the opportunity to say that they, like mostly when they're talking to the press, that they ran as a libertarian? Like say Augustus Invictus decides he wants to say that he ran as a libertarian in Arkansas, does having filled that out?
Well, any candidate still needs to have a candidate certificate issued by the party. So even if they file a political practices pledge, we can still vote them down and refuse to issue a candidate certificate. They couldn't run on our ticket. So what I'm hearing here, I think I'm feeling a consensus for where we're going with this, is that we should have the convention prior to the candidate filing week, as we always have, select our candidates, submit that as our candidate list during the filing week. But I also think that given the way they've written the law now, we cannot turn people away if they choose to file a political practices pledge during that week, even if they weren't at our convention. So I think what we would have to do is leave open the possibility, the contingency, that we have a second convention, kind of the way that the primary process do. They have a preferential primary and then the real primary if it's necessary. So that if no one walks up to the desk during candidate filing week that's unexpected, we just stick with our candidates. However, if other people walk up and want to run with the Libertarian Party, we would have to have a second convention to either approve that candidate, choose from among candidates, or choose no doubt.
Could we authorize the executive committee to do that instead of having a second convention?
I think the way that the law is written to say that we choose our candidates by convention, that we might run afoul of the letter of the law on that. It's a good idea. Bill?
Could the second convention be an electronic convention where we're all logged on to something?
Nothing in the law says it couldn't, I suppose.
Okay. Particularly if